This video is about determining the volume of a prism, cylinder, pyramid, cone, sphere, and hemisphere. So for a prism, your volume is base area times the height. So the important thing to remember is that this B stands for the base area. So we have to find the area of a square, of a triangle, of a rectangle, of a hexagon, whatever our base shape is. So in number 1, we have a rectangular prism. And because this is our shaded box, we're going to say that this is our base. So we have a base here and here. So for our volume, we need the base area. Well, the base area of a rectangle is base times height. So we have 5 times 7 times the overall height, which is the distance between the two bases of 22. So when we multiply that together, we would have 35 times 22, which gets us 770 feet cubed. With volume, we are always going to have cubed units. In number 2, an equilateral triangle is our base. So to find our volume, it's going to be the area triangle times the height, which is 19. Of an equilateral triangle, it is root 3 over 4 times 12 squared times 19. So if we multiply first root 3 over 4 times 12 squared, remember, don't put the root 3 in your calculator, so we should get 36 root 3 times 19, and that gets us 684 root 3 centimeters cubed. In number 3, your sister got a fancy aquarium for her birthday. It is shaped like a hexagonal prism. The perimeter of the aquarium is 60 inches and the height is 15. If she fills the aquarium completely 3/4 filled with water, how much water is she using? So in our hexagon, if we have a perimeter of 60, that means each side is 10. And we have a height of 15. If we draw our triangle, remember that it splits that 10 into 5 and 5, and that our apothem is going to be the S root 3 side. So if this is 5, our apothem is 5 root 3. So to find the volume, it's our base area times height. Well, our base is a hexagon, so we have 1/2 times 5 root 3, which is the apothem, times the perimeter, times the height of the aquarium, which is 15. So when we multiply that together, we get 2,250 root 3 inches cubed. Now, that's if we were filling the whole aquarium. But we don't want to fill the whole aquarium with water because we need to save some room for the little rocks on the bottom and the fish to swim around and to be added to the tank. So we're only going to put 3/4 full of water. So to figure out how much water she uses, we're going to take the volume and we're going to multiply by 3/4. So when we do that, 687.5 root 3 inches cubed. Next, we're going to find the volume of a cylinder. So the volume of the cylinder is very similar to the volume of a prism. It's still base area times height, but now remember our base is a circle. So to find the area, it's always going to be pi r squared. So in number 4, we have the height is 24. We have this diagonal length is 26. So we're going to draw in our diameter of the circle. We have to do Pythagorean theorem to find the diameter. So 26 squared equals 24 squared plus x squared. 676 equals 576 plus x squared. So we get 100 equals x squared. X is 10. So if our diameter is 10, that makes the radius 5 and 5. So to find our volume, it's the area of the circle pi 5 squared times the height of the cylinder 24. So when we multiply that together, remember to square the 5 first, we get 600 pi feet cubed. Number 5, a can of soup stands 5 inches tall and has a diameter of 3 inches. How much soup does the can hold? So this can is 5 inches tall. If it's got a diameter of 3, that means the radius is 1.5. So we would have pi 1.5 squared times 5, and we get 11 1/4 pi inches cubed. The next to find the volume of is a pyramid. So in a pyramid, area times the height. So this time we want the height that's inside the pyramid that goes from the vertex down to the base. So number 6, find the volume of the square pyramid. So right now we don't have our height, so we need to find our height first. So in order to do that, first we need to find the slant height. So we know that this side breaks into 7 and 7, so we can do Pythagorean theorem. 25 squared equals x squared plus 7 squared. So we get 625 equals x squared plus 49. 576 equals x squared. So x is 24. Then we're going to draw in our height and do Pythagorean theorem again. This time with 7 and 24. So when we do that, we have 24 squared equals 7 squared plus y squared. 576 equals 49 plus y squared. So we get 527 is equal to y squared. 527 can't be simplified at all, so it would be the square root of 527 equals y. That's going to be the height of our pyramid. So to find our volume then, it is 1/3 the base area, so 14 times 14. Times the square root of 527. So when we simplify here, we get 196 over 3 root 527 meters cubed. In number 7, a pyramid with a regular pentagonal base has a height of 28 feet. A side of the base is 8. Find the volume of the pyramid to the nearest hundredth. So we know the height and we know one of the sides. So in a pentagon, we can form one of our triangles to find our apothem. If the side is 8, that splits into 4 and 4. This angle at the top is going to be 360 divided by 5 divided by 2, which is 36 degrees. And we're looking for our apothem. So if we do trig, we have the tangent of 36 equals 4 over a. So our apothem is equal to 4 over the tangent of 36. So when we go to do our volume, we have 1/3 times the area of the base, which is 1/2, times the apothem, times the perimeter. Well, if each side is 8 and it's a pentagon, the perimeter is going to be 40, and then times the height of the pyramid, which is 28. So when we put that all in our calculator, we get 1027.70 feet cubed. In number 8, we want to find the volume of a pyramid with a regular hexagonal base. Each side of the base is 8 centimeters long and the height of the solid is 42 centimeters. So in a hexagon, we're just going to look at one triangle. We know that the side is 8, so that splits into 4 and 4. In a hexagon, our angle is always 30 degrees, and our apothem is the s root 3 side. So that's going to be 4 root 3 as our apothem. So our volume is going to be equal to 1/3 times 1/2 times 4 root 3 times, if there are 6 sides with a side length of 8, that's going to be a perimeter of 48, times our height of 42. And we get 1,344 root 3 centimeters cubed. The volume of a cone. So the volume of the cone is the same as the volume of the pyramid. It is 1/3 base area times height. Remember though, because it's a cone, our base area is always pi r squared. So in number 9, we have the diameter and we have our slant height. So we need to draw in our height, which splits that diameter into 40 and 40 for the radius. And then we do Pythagorean theorem to find the height. So 50 squared equals 40 squared plus x squared. 2,500 equals 1,600 plus x squared. 900 equals x squared. So our height is 30. Then to find the volume, it is going to be 1/3 the base area. So to find the base area of a circle, it is pi r squared, so pi 40 squared, times the height of 30. Because even though the cone is laying on the side, the height goes from the vertex to the base. So when we multiply that, we get 16,000 pi inches cubed. In number 10, Donnie was enjoying his snow cone. He only has what is exactly left in the cone left to eat. If the cone has a diameter of 3 inches and a height of 4 inches, how much of his delicious treat does he have left to eat? So we know our height and we know our diameter, which means our radius is going to be half of that, 1.5. So we can find the volume of the snow cone. So we would have 1/3 times pi 1.5 squared times the height of 4, and that's going to get us 3 pi inches cubed. A sphere and a hemisphere. So for a sphere, our volume is 4/3 pi r cubed. And then for a hemisphere, it's in half, so half of 4/3 is 2/3, so it'd be 2/3 pi r cubed. So in number 11, we have 18 as our radius. So we would have 4/3 pi 18 cubed. In our calculator, we're not going to put in the pi. We're just going to type 4/3 in parentheses times 18. Now, to get cubed, you're going to hit your little triangle, little arrow that's above the division sign, and then the cubed. Some of your calculators will write it like that as a superscript, and some will just have the caret and then the number next to it. Either way is fine. And you're going to get 7,776 pi meters cubed. For a hemisphere, our volume is going to be 2/3 pi 24 cubed, and that's going to get us 9,216 pi centimeters cubed. For our last problem, let's look at an ice cream scoop. So a single scoop of ice cream at Wilson's Ice Cream Shop has a radius of 3 inches. The cone that it rests on has a height of 13 centimeters and a radius of 3 centimeters. So find the volume of the ice cream. So our ice cream, even though when you look at it, the cone looks like a hemisphere, it's actually a ball as a sphere. So to find the volume of ice cream, we would have 4/3 pi 3 cubed. And that's going to get us 36 pi centimeters cubed. To find the volume of the cone, it is 1/3 times the base area, so pi 3 squared, times the height of 13. That gets us 39 pi centimeters cubed. So if the ice cream were to melt, and in a perfect world, it's not running down your hand, it's not running down the side of the cone, it's not falling off the edge, it's going all directly into the cone. How much empty space is there in the cone? Well, if the cone has 39 and the ice cream is if the cone is 39 pi and the ice cream is 36 pi, there is going to be 3 pi centimeters cubed of empty space. So what percentage of the cone is filled? Well, if 36 pi is the ice cream out of 39 pi, we can divide. So 36 pi, we're going to put that in parentheses, divided by parentheses 39 pi times 100, and we would get 92%.